What is up, my peoples? Welcome back to the channel, man. Hey, so a famous Mexican rapper, I think his name OT Mexican or Mexican OT. I could be saying it wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't listen to his raps personally. People say he hot doing his thing, but recently has been a little controversy happening with him using the N-word, and people been going back and forth on was it acceptable, was it not. You know, here in Chicago, we do have a big mixed city. It's segregated, but it has a lot of different races segregated to some extent. But it is certain hoods that cross the paths of both races and stuff like that. So I'm split down the middle with it, not 100-fold. I mean, I do understand you feel like you grew up around black people. You feel like you one of us. It is what it is. And even though that the people you grew up around may like you using the word, the world ain't gonna see it like that. So this is a very sticky situation. But anyway, slide on Oshay Duke Jackson, see what he got to say about it, man. Let's jump in and see what's up. But before I do, that like and subscribe to your boy. Cost y'all nothing, but does so much for me and my family, and I appreciate that, man. Let's go ahead.
Black community and the Hispanic community have been at odds for a long time. And with the ICE raids happening around the country, in particular in LA, black people are not ashamed to tell Latinos how they really feel. For those of them who are getting deported back to their original countries, black people are like, bye-bye. But in certain parts of the country, blacks and Mexicans don't have a big issue. And that's like in Northern California or even in certain parts of Texas. Now, Texas does have a lot of Hispanics and a lot of blacks, but in certain partitions, blacks and Mexicans run together. Now, like I said, this is something to be seen in Northern California, like in Sacramento, where I'm from, where blacks and Mexicans typically have a close relationship. And sometimes you can get Mexicans and black gangs or vice versa. And so Mexicans can get a pass to a certain degree. And that is where we get a guy like Mexican OT. Now, if you look,
that's like that in Chicago here too. Like where I'm at the quote unquote north side of I'm out west, but I'm real close to where the north side is about to start. So like a couple blocks down, you got a lot of Hispanics, and them Hispanics on the border and blacks, we cool because we so close. We pretty much grew up in the same area. It's only like a little track that separate us. So we cool, you know. So as I say, I'm understanding on both sides of the situation. And my child's mother, she grew up around a bunch of Hispanics. Like I used to have to go over to see her. She's fully black herself, but she grew up around Hispanics and like she was integrated in their culture. So I've experienced it on both ends.
Mexican OT, from what I can see from the guy, he's not like your typical Hispanic type rapper. He looks like a guy that, you know, he definitely is Mexican, but I mean, he got a grill. He seems like he got a shag. I mean, he kind of maybe raps on the same style of flow from what I can tell, like a black dude. But there's an issue. He uses the N-word. Recently, he was on the podcast with Angela Yee, and he was confronted about it.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. What the f are you gonna do about it?
But wait, there's more.
I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up doing bad with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family, and it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody out black, I mean, it's what the f I was surrounded by, you know.
Now, Mexican OT said, hey, the reason why I use the N-word, it's not because I'm being disrespectful. I grew up with these dudes. Like, you know, I admire these dudes. I mean, you know, I went to war with these dudes. Like, I'm from the same places that they're from too. Now, it's interesting because, again, he does play the Mexican card, you know, the Mexican flag and all of that. But you can look at him and tell that, hey, there is some level of black influence in what he does. And the internet.
What killed him is what you're gonna do about it. That's what killed him in my book. Other than that, it'd have been all right. You grew up, woo woo, but that super killed you. Like, you know, it ruffled people's feathers. And on top of that, they already don't like people outside the race. Like, don't get me wrong, I got people buzzing on people. They don't use it themselves, and they'll whoop your ass if you use it around them. So it ain't just oh, only blacks use them. Blacks, there's a large group of blacks that don't even want blacks. They don't want nobody to use the word. And that's one thing that kind of killed me. It's not they look at it as a lock off, like, oh no, it's not a nigga lock off thing. It's a large amount of black people. Like my homie, I be happy to watch my toes. He about to have to square up because he say he hate that word with a passion. He hate nigga, and I get him. He has rights to it. He full black person. I got Muslims that they ain't rocking with it, so it's understandable that it ain't. Oh, we can only use no. So there's people nobody use it. So I hate that. I wish they had probably pushing that narrative more. Stop pushing it. We don't, you know, I don't like that lockout no
on if he should be able to say the N-word or not.
If you are not black, you cannot use the N-word. I am an unambiguous Afro-Latina. I am a black woman. And if I had a cousin that looked like Mexican OT Genesis, which I have, if any of them said the N-word, I'm slapping the shit out of them on sight. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not even thinking twice about it. And you know why?
That's your people saying
because that word was reclaimed by black people. Someone is telling you that something is offensive, and you were like, oh, well, what are these N-words gonna do about it? That's crazy disrespectful. I'm not mad at Cleotrapa for asking the question because I feel like Cleotrapa is the only one in that room that had enough cojones to ask. Now, Angela Yee, this is her show. This is your show, and on top of it being your show, it's not like you're a nobody. It's not like you're not connected. So you could have easily like checked him and been like, oh, you need to get out of here. Like, we're not going to continue. The men that was with him, I find it to be equally disturbing that none of them said anything. Nobody said anything to this guy, like at all. Nah.
So
thank you. That's one thing I like about it too. Nope, everybody talking about him. Ain't nobody got like Angela. This your show. Why you don't, hey, woo off the bell, just out of respect. I don't care what you do in your circle, but on national syndicated TV, I don't know if that's stuff on TV or what you call it. Let's just leave that word off the table just to not ruffle feathers. For respect out of me, because I believe she's mixed. I believe she's black and some and Asian or something. Don't hold me to it. Just thank you though. Like everybody was letting her off the hook. Like they kept saying, what the dudes that work in the back. This her show. Why can't she say something? This is her show. Man, I'm glad somebody said something about
who
that.
was like, hell to the no. Like, listen, this dude don't have any reason to be out here using the N-word, okay? Like, not at all. Then you have people like Azalea Banks. She says this on a tweet. No, everyone in the world can say and do what they want, and black people really have no reason to be upset about it as offensive while we run around calling each other such an ugly word because we can't expand our vocabulary. If we want people to let it go, we have to do so first. African people do not use that word.
Stop the cap.
Then you got people on the same side as Mexican OT.
Bro, like, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers that's not from Texas, steady speaking on Texas business, man. Like, everybody say down here. Everybody, especially all Hispanics, no matter if you goddamn Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, El Salvador, man, locked in with the blacks, man. You around, see us blacks, man, we raised around Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? In every neighborhood, goddamn me, it's a couple Mexicans, goddamn, or Hispanics, motherfuckers, this on our block. And so we growing up with these motherfuckers, childhood, since little boys, since little girls, you know what I'm saying? And we so locked in, y'all from up north wouldn't understand it because it ain't, I ain't gonna say it ain't no Hispanics, but it's racially divided down here. We like this, we locked in, my since middle school, high school, we getting invited to quinceañeras and tamale trucks and shit, come ride through on the little bike with the little
This is a guy from Texas saying, listen, man, we don't even need y'all in our business all like that. Like, we grew up with them, you know, they grow up with us, you know,
and we
like family, so why can't they say it? I mean, they accepted us, so it should be okay. Now, there was a Hispanic guy who brought up some very interesting points.
What I want to speak on is that when it comes to referring to your friends as a Hispanic, you really don't have to use that word. I mean, we have so many other words. We refer to people as pa. We refer to people as my boy, what's cracking my boy. We refer to people as fool, what's up fool. Ese, Vato, Pops. I don't know if other cultures use Pops. I've only really had my Hispanic homies call me Pops. But yeah, we just have so many other phrases that we could use besides that word to refer to our friends.
But a guy said something that was interesting. He says, listen, I mean, like, I'm not here to really comment on if it's right or wrong for him to say whatever he's going to say. That's up to him. But as far as referring to Mexicans or anybody else, there are many terms that we could use to basically distinguish ourselves. We have many different ways to show we are friends.
Exactly.
Like, we don't need to use that word because in our slang, we have many different ways to call each other a name. So that's the problem that he has with it. But the person who went and said the most was Sauce Walker.
Oh, hey, man.
I'm a right here because Sauce Walker did update it because he didn't see the video beforehand, before he replied, because he from Sauce Walker from Houston, if y'all don't know. Rapper from Houston, Texas, and I think he affiliated with him some type of way, but he seen the video afterwards, so y'all check that out to get his most recent reply to this. And I'm gonna link the video down for y'all to watch the rest of it if y'all choose to, you know, show some love and stuff. Oshay be on top of his business. But me personally, like I said, I'm split down the middle. I've had white and Hispanic people within my youth use the word. Since I've been older and got more educated and stuff, I don't feel as comfortable as I did being younger. But you know, so I haven't personally experienced this as an adult, almost 40 years old. But as a younger person, I did. It was cool back then, but now I'm like, nah. But either way, though, if your circle of black people, whatever, lets you do that in your circle. It's not global, though. I'm just gonna tell y'all, whatever other, it's not global. It's not. Don't think you could go from Texas to New York and they gonna be cool with it. Don't think you could Texas to Cali or something like that. If you do that in your circle, keep that in your circle, just for safety and out of respect. And I don't get why it seems like everybody else can use our racial slang, but we can't do the same. We can't go on national TV and use any Jewish slang, no Jewish, racial slang, Mexican, white, nothing else. I mean, you can't say cracker, but cracker like so soft. It's like, it's just white. That's never been so quote unquote, but I still leave that off the table too. But like, we anything else, we off the table. We can't do it, but then they just feel so comfortable, you know. I don't know, man. I get all over the place though. But if y'all made this far, hit the like and subscribe to your boy. Link the video down, man. Y'all be safe out there. Just try to show as much respect as possible for others as you can out in that world. I'm out, show. Peace.